Throughout the 24 years of the Pokémon anime, protagonist Ash Ketchum has engaged in many battles, and he's still 10. With many years of battling under his belt, you best believe that some of them were no walk in the park, and that's exactly what we'll be focusing on today. We'll be counting down the top 10 toughest Ash Ketchum battles from the Pokémon anime, and joining me once again is none other than Mystic Umbreon.
What's up, Lumious trainers? I'm Mystic Umbreon, and it's great to be back on the channel. As Zach said, we'll be counting down Mr. Ketchum's toughest battles to date, but keep in mind that list is just our opinions. So if your picks differ from ours, let us know in the comments. We hope you enjoy.
Now when it comes to this list, also keep in mind that this isn't just limited to battles Ash has lost. Just because he loses a battle does not mean it was tough, cause if that was the case, then Ash vs Chirp would be number 1. And we can't have that. There are actually some really tough battles Ash was able to get the win in, so expect some of those as well. Before getting into the actual top 10, here we have a few honorable mentions that were just shy of making the list. Ash's battle against Olympia, Ash's first battle against Bee, Ash's final battle against Sawyer, the battle against Drake and his busted 10-move Dragonite, against Kukui, or more like Tapu Koko, and the neck-and-neck Alola League Finals battle against Gladion. Alright, now let's begin. Number 10.
Starting this list at number 10 is Roxy. Roxy had a well-known reputation defeating trainers only using 3 Pokemon, even when they brought 6 Pokemon to that battle. Roxy and Ash battled, and she used those same stakes against him. She defeated every single one of Ash's Pokemon aside from his Pikachu, who eventually did defeat her Garbodor. The fact that she gave herself such a handicap and still almost defeated Ash is pretty impressive. So I definitely think this match has the honor of kicking off the top 10.
Number 9. Now if you thought Roxy's 3 on 6 was tough, next we have the Grand Trial against Nanu, which is even tougher due to the simple fact that Ash could only use 1 Pokemon against Nanu's 3. One mistake, one slip up, and the Grand Trial would have been over. It's not like Nanu was a pushover either, cause he proved to be strong by defeating Ash in a one-on-one pre-trial just a few episodes prior. What made things even more difficult is the fact that all throughout, Nanu was getting under Ash's skin by insulting his skills as a trainer. It's a great tactic to distract your opponent and make them lose focus. And he almost got Ash too. Luckily Lycanroc was there to snap Ash out of it, and because of that, they were able to get the win by staying in sync. Also shout out to Tapu Bulu who gave Ash a Citrus Berry mid-battle. That probably helped a little too. Number 8.
Let's throw on some nostalgia goggles as we rewind back to the Battle Frontier where we meet Factory Head Noland. The battle between Ash's Charizard and Noland's Articuno was definitely no joke. Despite Charizard having the type advantage against Articuno, it was still a hard battle nonetheless. Charizard's wing got frozen and it did struggle for a little bit. Eventually though, it pulled through and was able to pull off an epic win using Seismic Toss. This battle is Pokemon AMV material for sure.
Number 7. Continuing with the Battle Frontier, we have Ash vs Annabelle. The fact that Ash had to take her on twice in order to win should tell you how strong this girl is. Now although Ash's battle with Sabrina back in the day was mostly a joke, it did give us a glimpse at the true power Psychic type trainers possess. And I feel like the battle against Annabelle perfectly exemplifies that. On top of specializing in the already busted Psychic type, Annabelle also had the ability to communicate telepathically with her Pokemon, so Ash had no idea what was coming. Their first battle was so bad that her Alakazam alone took out 2 out of Ash's 3 usable Pokemon. And it's not like Ash was losing because he was overconfident or anything, she was just that good. And just when you think the nightmare was over when Pikachu finally takes down Alakazam, Annabelle immediately follows with the pseudo-legendary Metagross. Yeah, rest in peace. Number 6.
Just shy of the top 5 is none other than one of my favorite battles of all time, Ash vs Gary. This was the battle of the early 2000s. Gary the jerk rival constantly belittled Ash, and Ash was always falling behind him. It was the match all of us wanted to see, and it was the match we got. Ash's Snorlax knocked out Nidoqueen, his Heracross took a straight Fire Blast, and his Charizard managed to knock out Gary's Golem. In the end, it all came down to Ash's Charizard versus Gary's starter Pokemon, Blastoise. Ash had used one of his crazy strats, burning the field, and it made Gary's Blastoise struggle. Finally, after a constant battle of the starter titans, despite Ash having the type disadvantage, he was able to pull through, making him the victor. We all remember that match, and as a kid, watching it on Kids WB, it will forever be engraved in my memory for the rest of my life.
Number 5. Ash vs. Paul. Now what's special about this entry is the fact that Paul has 2 battles with Ash that can be considered as some of his absolute toughest. The first one being their final battle at the Sinnoh League. Although it seemed like Ash had the upper hand from the beginning, it was all part of Paul's plan to lure Ash into a false sense of security, because after this, the man pulls out his annoyingly strong Drapion that wipes out half of Ash's team in an instant. And just when it looks like Ash was bouncing back, his Electivire brings Ash down to his final Pokemon, Infernape. Luckily, Ash was able to get the win in the end, but man was it a close one. The other battle, however, was probably the more tougher one, and it's their first full battle at Lake Acuity. Paul absolutely obliterates Ash here, as he was in complete control for the entire match, with Ash only being able to take down 2 Pokemon, while Paul took down Ash's entire team of 6. It was brutal. Number 4.
Just one ahead of the number 5, we have the battles of Brandon. If you came from my channel, then you already kind of know the premise with Pyramid King Brandon. Ash was defeated by him twice, and he dug Paul a new grave. Ash, however, bringing his 3 OG Kanto starters and Pikachu, were able to defeat Brandon. Charizard got taken out by Dusclops, Bulbasaur took it out with the Leech Seed, Squirtle took out Ninjask, then got knocked out by Solrock. Bulbasaur and Solrock both knocked each other out with a Solar Beam, and finally, Ash defeated Brandon's Regice with Pikachu, securing him the victory. This was an epic match beyond a doubt, especially seeing all of Ash's Kanto OGs. However, had Brandon used Regirock and Registeel for that battle, I think Ash would have lost. He did win though, so good for Ketchup.
Number 3. Ash vs. Flint. In order to help reignite Volkner's passion for battling, Ash and Flint decide to have a 3-on-3 battle, and my god does Flint prove his Elite Four strength. With Infernape alone, Flint was able to defeat Ash's Weasel, who should have had the advantage, Ash's Infernape, and finally Pikachu. Ash was really no match for him. Fun fact, this is actually the only time Ash's Infernape loses after fully evolving, so that should tell you how strong Flint's Infernape is. When Ash was down to Pikachu specifically, you can tell they were pushed to their limits. But Flint, on the other hand, didn't seem to have much of a struggle. Well, at least this helped inspire Volkner, so it wasn't a total loss. Number 2.
Other than the most obvious number 1 spot, this battle has to be the runner-up. And the battle I am referring to, of course, is Ash's battle against Alon. This was the final match of the Kalos League. Some key highlights were definitely Alon's Bisharp landing 2 guillotines against Goodra and Hawlucha. Ash had a 3-2 lead and decides to have Pikachu battle Charizard, but despite the type advantage, Thunderbolt does nothing. And there's also the fact Goodra left a Rain Dance behind, helping Greninja. The overall battle was really intense, but we all know the most epic part. The final battle between Ash Greninja and Mega Charizard X. It was an epic double team, Water Shuriken, and Flamethrower fight, and the battle went on for quite a little bit. Even though Ash does unfortunately lose, I can't even explain the intensity of it all. You just have to watch the battle, and you will be on the edge of your seat. If you've seen this battle, you will know exactly what I am talking about. Kalos stands.
Number 1. As many of you probably expected, Ash's toughest battle was against none other than Tobias. Right off the bat, this dude easily takes down half of Ash's team without breaking a sweat thanks to his Darkrai. It felt like Ash really couldn't do anything, especially when his Pokemon would get hit with a Dark Void. Luckily, he was able to break through with Sceptile and take down that annoying Darkrai. And just when things seem to be looking up for our boy, the dude whips out a Latios.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now.
If you really want to demoralize someone, this is how you do it. After that, Ash's fate was pretty much sealed. Like, who knows what else this dude had up his sleeve? And we'll probably never know, cause Ash could not get past that Latios, unfortunately. I will give credit to Ash and Pikachu though, cause at least they went down fighting as hard as they could. And that's why this is Ash's toughest battle to date, cause cheating ass Tobias really had the audacity to pull up with 2 legendary Pokemon. Yes, Mythicals count as legendaries. Thanks for watching everyone, and huge thanks to Mystic Umbreon for joining me. Over on his channel, we count down the top 10 strongest Pokemon from the Pokémon Anime, so be sure to check that out. Remember to live your life to the fullest, and have yourself a damn good one.